Van slowly regained consciousness. Her head throbbed with a dull ache. She blinked several times, trying to make her surroundings. The room was dimly lit with a cold draft coiling around her. It's not her room. Panic surged through her brain as she realized that she was tied up as well, her hands bound tightly behind her back. Fear crept to her heart as she started screaming. Last time she remembered that she was going to sleep in her room until someone from back hit her in the head hard and she lost her consciousness, vaguely seeing her father smiling at her devilishly. No, no, it can't be. She shook her head, tears were wetting the floor underneath as she screamed for help but stopped when the door slammed open and a silver light burst through the room, and her eyes widened as she caught the sight of a tall figure stepping inside. It was one of the captors clad in black mask and intimidating aura. So you finally up, huh? Get dressed quickly and do some makeup to look presentable. The show starts in few minutes. What's this place and who are you? Your father has sold you to us and we paid him a pretty handsome price for you. Lucky you are beautiful, now get dressed quickly. Van shook her head repeatedly, muttering it can't be and her father can't do this with her. He beats her and shouts at her. But this, she doesn't want it to believe on it. The man got frustrated, seeking her, making no move. Girl, don't make me repeat myself, and there is no use of crying anymore. Quick, hurry, he said in annoyance, as she was still not moving, so he bent down, meeting her at her eye level. She leaned back in fear, and that caused a mirthless laugh to escape the masked man's lips. As he advanced closer, a glint of danger appearing in his eyes before undoing Van's restraints. I'll give you a friendly advice, since you are here. Listen to the men quietly whatever they say later, and don't even thought of fighting back, because not everyone will be easy on you like me here. The man said under his breath, and she winced as the restraints comes off from her aching wrist. Vian's blood ran cold as she realized what's happening. She was bounded to be auctioned off as a mere pawn for the night, treated as object to be bought and discarded afterwards. Stepping into the dimly lit room, their presence demanded attention. The sound of harsh whispers filled the air as the guests turned to catch the glimpse of the newcomers entered. Jungkook felt the surge of adrenaline as they walked through the crowd, their aura dominating and the respect he upheld everyone jealous of. Amidst of swirling excitement, a man purposely bumped into his shoulder as he turned to look at him with annoyed face. Watch where you are going, Jeon, he spat in annoyance. Jungkook's jaw clenched hard, knowing he did it on purpose to bring out any reaction from him, but he stayed calm and not give him the satisfaction of ruining his mood. I knew you are brainless, but I didn't know that you have stopped using your eyes as well, he replied smoothly, earning a chuckle from Jimin at his side. Sehun grit his teeth in anger as he wanted to wipe out that annoying smirk which always make him feel loser in front of Jungkook. We are here for business and not for old grudges. I suggest you to mind your own business and let me mind mine for tonight. Let's see if you stay true to your own words, he replied before walking off to where he originally was going. Who the hell let him enter this place? He commented, amusing seeing the frustration on Sehun's face. It's not only him, others are here, but since this is neutral territory and in everyone's favor, personal issues are left at the door. Jungkook nodded, understanding why on else the whole place would be a bloodshed. That's a rule I can stand by. As they walked into the grand open auction hall, Jimin's eyes widened at the sheer magnificence surrounded them. They were greeted by a well-dressed worker who wore a sharp black suit with a discreet earpiece. Good evening, I will be your guide for today. Please follow me and I will lead you to your designated seats, the man stated, and they nodded, letting him lead the way. They made their way through the sea of people elegantly dressed for the evening show, each eager to secure the best spot for upcoming auction. They finally reached for their seat arranged right in front of the stage, giving the best view of the night. Jimin didn't ignore to notice the excitement in the air. The restlessness was going on in the crowd as one of the workers who was the host for the night raised his hands in the air for the attention of people gathered. Hello everyone, I can see the excitement from the crowd and we urge you all to maintain composure as we introduce our next batch of extraordinary women, he called as his voice projecting through the hall. Jungkook looked around for the server with the drink as he grabbed his exquisite scotch, taking a sip and leaned back in the chair prepared for the evening, which is just a mere entertainment for him, not expecting anyone would truly pique his interest. The bidder continued as he introduced the first woman on the stage, the spotlight shone on her. Jungkook studying her face closely, the woman appeared nervous, the sheer piece of clothing covering her body. Jungkook knew all these girls are brought here for an entertainment purpose and they prostitute them. He feels bad for them but can't help knowing that those close relatives of them plays the major role. Decided to sold them off for not being financially strong. Not even police help them as they involved in it too. When money rules the world, there is no place of what's right and wrong. Before Jungkook could even process his own thoughts, the whole room erupted in the chaos. Men started yelling their money bids, their voices drowning out any sounds. The auction has finally begun, and the battle for ownership has commenced. After an hour of chaos, Jungkook was in his fourth ring for the night as Jimmy nursed him, informing about that Mr. Lee has finally arrived. Yes, they came here for the meeting with Mr. Lee regarding their business expansion overseas and that man have many connections outside could help them in growing. The auction just an excuse for them to enter here. We should leave. Mr. Lee is waiting for us, he informed as he got up from his seat while Jungkook nodded a little tipsy but still in control as he looks around the room for the last time, buttoning his coat. The show was about to end as well as the bidder introducing the last girl of the night. He got up from his seat and his car keys fell on the carpet underneath. He groaned. It was the moment when he looks up after picking up the keys. His eyes stopped the last girl. The worker forcefully made her stand in the middle of the stage. As the spotlight shone above her, there was the loudest cheers of the night in the background, might be because she looked underage. But for Jungkook, everything stopped in that moment. The background nurses, the widow screaming. All he could do was to stare at her face. The scared girl standing in the middle, hugging herself. The reflected makeup can't even mask her innocent beauty. As her nervous eyes scanned the whole crowd in fear, her lips trembling, already aware of the situation until her eyes locked with the only person standing in the crowd looking at her with his sharp eyes. Jungkook felt his heart just move inside his ribcage, something he never felt nor he wanted to believe onto, but staring contest between the two. Her eyes trying to say something or he is just hallucinating. The bidding part started again as the grown man in his 40s put the first bid, and Vine's eyes shift from Jungkook to the man who just screamed his price for her. Her whole body shook as the weight of reality befell on her and eyes filled with tears, but the only who were looking at her face will realize it. Most of them were just interested in her body. Unbeknown to her, certain men still standing in the crowd looking at her face. The whole room erupted in chaos as all fighting against put the highest bid while Jungkook glanced around before locking eyes with the one confident bidder who smirked at him raising his glass. He muttered under his breath, Jungkook, we are getting late. Mr. Lee might be waiting. He got interrupted by Jungkook. Jungkook raised the paddle and placed his first bid of the night to Jimin's surprise. His heart pounded as the whole crowd fell silent. The room was in disbelief, including Jimin, who was standing beside him, not understanding why Jungkook was participating in it when he doesn't promote this kind of stuff. Confusion spread among bidders as they tried to gauge Jungkook's intention. Sehun glanced at Jungkook and shiver ran down to his spine after he noticed the serious expression he wore. He tried to speak again but was already silenced as Jungkook made the bold and audacious bid for surpassing anything the other had offered. It was a bid that no one dared to meet. The room fell silent into hushed silence as their jaw dropping at Jungkook's audacity. While on the other hand, Jimin couldn't understand why Jungkook was bidding so passionately for this particular girl. The auctioneer struggled to regain composure as he realized the gravity of the situation. Sold to the determined bidder at the front, he paused for a moment before finally declaring winner as Jungkook took a breath of relief. I want her at my place, he instructed to the worker before turning his heel towards the exit and Jimin followed him from behind. Why do you have bought her, Jungkook? He asked as soon as they left the auction hall. Something's telling me that she was brought here against her will, and it's pissing me off, he said with annoyance. You know all the women brought here against their will. Why so angry about this particular girl? Because she looked minor. Oh wow, so now you want to be a guardian angel. I never knew this side existed, or it's just a competition between. His sentence cut off by someone approached them. Mr. Jeon Jungkook, you know that time is money and money is God, and you have made me waste my 15 minutes. I can't deal with a person who doesn't value time. Our apologies, sir, he said as he bowed down repeatedly but stopped when Jungkook put a hand on his back. I apologize for my mistake and for your inconvenience, Mr. Lee, but I promise that the next few minutes you'll give me will be worthwhile to cover up for our lost time. Why are you still sure that I'll give you a second chance? Because I know you are as eager as I am for this deal to happen, and you won't be still waiting for me if you're not interested. I like your attitude, the old man said with raised brow but smiled afterwards, putting his right hand on Jungkook's shoulder. Let's continue in my cabin. I swear if we go out few more minutes late, we would have been lost our most important deal tonight, because that oldie is very strict for his principles, he said frustratedly. But we didn't lose the deal, right? He said calmly. In fact, he was impressed by my suggestions, he said proudly, and Jimin clicked his tongue in annoyance. Yeah, whatever, but can you tell me now why you have bought that girl? I know you are not interested in these things. Jimin noticed how Jungkook's expression changed from proud to something unreadable. He sighed before answering. Are you kidding me? What do you mean you don't know Jungkook? She is a human, not something you can toy with. Can you shut up? I know that, but I'm tired and not interested to answer all your rubbish questions. Did you get that? Don't try to do something funny with that girl, or else I come back to you. Look who is calling me guardian angel before, he said with a raised brow smirking. It's for your own safety, stupid. Didn't you said she is a minor? So don't get yourself involved in something you'll regret later. Yeah, I am aware of it. Jungkook drove his car to Seoul district where his apartment is located after dropping Jimin at his loft. In anticipation of what night would bring to him, he didn't forget about the deal he made today. When he opened the door of his unit, the lights were off. He tried to scan the living room but didn't find his gift for the night. Didn't they drop her yet? He said as he placed his keys on counter. He removed his coat and started to unbutton his black dress shirt. He walked to the hallway of his bedroom. As soon as he reached the door, he felt something hard hit the side of his head. It wasn't strong enough to knock him down, but it hurts like hell. He assumed someone has broke into his house and trying to advance on him. He grabbed the culprit from behind and slammed them down on the floor. The person exclaimed in a girly voice. He got to his feet and picked the small figure up and turned on the lights. What the are you trying to do? He shouted, slamming her frail body, gripping her left wrist higher. The audacity of her to attack him. She stared nervously at him, her neck hurt looking up. She had planned to knock him out, but after that she wasn't quite sure what to do, as she sat there for hours determined not to let this man get the best of her. Jungkook held on to her, staring down at her innocent face, both of them breathing hard. He felt the throbbing in his head from the object she hit him with, which pissed him off, but the anger that was coursing through him, he wants nothing but to teach her a good lesson she'll never forget. He released on her hands and grabbed her throat, lightly squeezing her soft flesh, wondering when he would start to see the fear in her innocent eyes. She put up a good front, but he figured that she was scared of him because most people were. Vine struggled to put up with him as her whole motive was to not let that man take advantage of her, but he was already winning, of course, much stronger than her. There was no comparison. She knows it's the only chance she has. It's now or never. As she was swinging her right hand up to his throat to reveal a tiny sharp blade she stole earlier, Jungkook instantly felt the cold metal against his neck. He also felt slight burning, so he knew that she had cut him already. Just didn't put the enough pressure on it, or might his blood splatter here tonight. I have saved you from that dirty place, and instead of thanking me, you're trying to kill me. He whispered to her, his eyes staring at her unsure brown orbs. She couldn't able to answer him, as the small amount of air keeping her alive. She tried at least. Go ahead, do it again, kitten. I know killing someone isn't that easy. It requires a lot of courage. But you are just a good girl. The blade on his neck just grazing the skin as she stared at his dark orbs didn't said anything. He was getting impatient as each minute passes. Now put the blade down. He growled, putting more pressure on her neck. Ryan wanted to slice off that throat badly, knowing that this person is no better than the man at the auction, but yes, killing someone requires a lot of courage, and it might be a regular thing for him being a gangster, but not for her. Ryan's body trembled. She's scared. That's why she did that. No, she is not a bad person like him and will never hurt anyone, but it's her survival instinct put on her to do that. A shiver ran down to her body as the dark orb staring right back at her brown ones, hand still gripping on her throat, firmly eyeing her, enjoying her squirm under his touch. She slowly lowered her hands to his throat and dropped the blade. As soon as it hit the floor, a cry shook from her body and tears began pouring down on her cheeks. What the she was doing here? I'm sorry, Before she able to say anything, he cut her off by picking her up and throwing her on his shoulder. It near knocked all the wind out of her. He marched toward his bedroom. She felt herself being thrown off his shoulder as she feels the soft mattress underneath her and him standing at the edge of the bed towering her. You are too rebellious for my liking, and I like submissive more. He fully unbuttoned his shirt this time and threw it carelessly on the floor. Horror take over her body as she realized what's happening. This is what she feared the most. She lay there all dumbfounded. Was he really going to have with her after she tried to kill him? Her senses started working again after she realized he was hovering her body half as she tried to push him off with her hands, hitting on his bare chest, but he grabbed the front of his dress and in one swift motion he ripped it down to her front, revealing her skin. God, he lost his sanity at that moment. Van shrieked with the surprise as she tried to push him away from her desperately. The little stunt you did in the hallway, you have to pay for the price for making me angry, kitten. He snarls as he dived right into the neck. Her scent is driving him crazy and waking up the animal inside him. She screamed loudly, trying to push him off from her, but he is much stronger than her as he grabbed both of her hands, which were trying to push him away, and pinned them above, leaving no chance for her to protest. But when he tried to leave the bite marks on her neck, she started crying loudly. Why her cries affected him so much, but he had never forced anyone before. Except her, she is not like those girls who just wanted to get into his pants, so they throw themselves on him willingly. Her innocence makes her different from others, as those curious eyes occupied his mind since she looked at him. He knew he had to have her and no one. Her little frame shook. Jungkook wanted nothing but to protect her at that moment, even he was doing the opposite. Stop crying, I had spent my money on you. He screams at her face, but more tears were spilled on her face, lips trembling. She shuts her eyes tightly, crying to herself. He loosened his grip on her wrist and stared at her face, which got red after crying badly. His gaze shifted to her pink lips, and there this warm fuzzy feeling he had in his chest as he observed her every feature. She is beautiful girl and got his attention from very first time her terrified eyes locked with him, an unspoken bond he feels. Breathing heavily, Jungkook removed his hands from her wrist as she covered her face, still crying, not even trying to look at his direction as he no longer hovering her. Stop crying. He also know that girl is minor and he won't do something like this. He just wanted to show his dominance to scare her because she really had no fear of him in her eyes compared to how scared she looked standing in the middle of the stage earlier. If you didn't stop crying, I'll kiss you right now. He threatened and it worked as small sniffing sounds coming from the girl underneath him. She opened her eyes to glare at him, practically throwing daggers to her eyes. You are also like them. Brought me for the same motive. What did you say? Uh, you. So she cursed too. Not that innocent she seems by face. Jungkook poked his tongue looking around the room until again meeting her puffy eyes. Well, we all are in someone else's life, he said as he saw the last tear drop from her eyes. He lifted his shirt from the floor, putting them on without looking at her direction, but he can feel her eyes on him. Good night. He walked out of the room, leaving the girl alone. Ryan slowly trudged to the bathroom, turned on the light, and stared herself in the mirror. She didn't realize that she slept while crying with her torn dress and visible marks on her neck. She really felt disgusted of herself and wanted to wipe every trace of him on her body. She turned on the shower and closed the door. The shower was large enough to fit at least 10 people. She looked around in awe. The expensive-looking shower had projected the water out in a messaging manner. She leaned her face against the cool tile and cried. What she got herself into, she never imagined her life to be turned upside down and her father to betray her. Now she caged in this expensive looking prison where she can get all the luxury but she doesn't want to face that monster. OMG, she missed her bedroom already. It's not even 24 hours yet. How's she gonna survive here? After a shower, Ryan went outside but she realized she didn't have any clothes she can change into. She looks in the cupboard and there's only nicely ironed shirt and pants kept expensive suits. No, nothing for her, of course. She grabbed the white shirt and black pants, changed into the oversized clothes. It's still better than her ruined dress exposing her body. She feels shivers ran to her spine when she remembered the scene from the last night. But at the same time, her stomach grumbled loudly as she didn't had anything since yesterday. With careful steps, she moved outside the bedroom and making sure that no one was around, she went to the kitchen to find anything she can eat. Looking at the fridge, she didn't find anything. It's only filled with beer and soju bottle. She tried to look on the kitchen shelf and fortunately she found the box of cookies there as her eyes light up seeing the packet that looked pretty expensive. Munching on it, she sighed but suddenly tears started to fall from her eyes. It's so tasty but she isn't crying for that. She is crying because she doesn't know what she gonna do now as she stuck here for God knows when. She put the packet back on the shelf with difficulty. That man doesn't seem to be at home and it's good chance for her to escape. But these oversized pants are really making it impossible for her to walk around freely. She tried to open the door of balcony to check if the door is unlocked. Great, it's unlocked this time. Last time it wasn't, so she couldn't able to look outside. But the moment she took step outside, she gasped loudly seeing how much at height she is standing. As she can see every building but looking underneath made her feel fizzy. The car looks toys moving. No way she can escape from here. What will happen if she jump from here? Will she flee from that monster? But dying this way doesn't seem good idea. What the hell, Ryan? Are you out of your mind? What are you even thinking? Do not let your intrusive thought win. What are you doing outside? Ryan shrieks, immediately turned around to look at Jungkook standing few feet away from her, staring at her with his piercing eyes. What the hell, don't shout from nowhere, I got scared. She complained to him, putting her hand on her chest. Jungkook eyes Ryan carefully and what she has changed herself into. Basically, she wore his expensive clothes without his permission, and to be honest, he doesn't mind that much, and finds her cute in those oversized shirts. It's not that he'll admit it to himself. I just ask you, what are you doing here? He asked calmly, stepping closer to her. So what now? You want to control me where I can go and where I not to? She stuttered a little, remembering what he did last night to her. I can do whatever because I had paid. Ryan had enough of him reminding her that he had bought her. I got it. You don't have to shove this on my face again and again. I'm not your slave. Who said you are my slave? I rather call you my baby girl. Ryan made a disgusted face. I'm not your baby girl, she shouted. I don't want to see your face and I hate you. Jungkook looks at her with deadpan face, crossing his hands over his chest. Are you done? Let's go, food is waiting for us. He extended his hand towards Ryan, but she shook her head. I'd rather stay hungry than eating with you. Jungkook sighed, seeing her childish behavior, or more like she still is a teenager. He took a step closer towards her. Stay away from me. Jungkook still can't understand why the girl had no fear in her eyes for him, while others weren't even able to hold a eye contact with him for that long, and here this girl always challenging him. Ryan was about to move back, but she shrieked when suddenly her legs slipped because of the oversized pants. Her whole life flashed into her eyes when she fell from the balcony, but Jungkook immediately grabbed onto her arm. Please save me, she shouted, tightly holding Jungkook's arm desperately. Jungkook eyes the girl in amusement, as 1 second ago she was threatening him to not come closer, and now she is begging for him to save her. Interesting girl. Please pull me up, what are you waiting for? She asked irritatedly when Jungkook didn't pull her up immediately, while she was latching onto his arm like a koala so desperate for her life. Do you know how much height we are on? If you fall from here, I'm sure none of your body parts will remain in full pieces. He ignored her pleadings and enjoyed the fear he finally seeing in her eyes, finding this whole ordeal really amusing. What the? He can't joke like this when I'm standing between the life and death. Are you out of your mind? Do you even realize what are you saying? Did you say I'm out of my mind, baby girl? He said, wiggling his arms, and she screamed. No, I mean, why don't you pull me up? You don't want your money to be wasted just like that, right? Well, few minutes ago she was nagging at him to do not remind me about you paid for me, and now she's the one reminding him about it. I don't have problem. I earn 10 times that the daily basis. So he paused and looks at her smirking. Don't worry about that won't be painful because you might faint even before your skull hit the ground. Is he psycho? I swear if I had something in my hand, I would have hit his head or might have pulled him with me. Then the whole Korea will be free from this mafia. But I'm not interested to be a superhero for them. Yeah, pull me up. What did you say? Speak louder, baby girl. I didn't hear you. Pull me up, she shouted with the top of her lungs. Are you sure? Because if I saved you today, your life will be mine to ruin. Well, Jungkook don't have to use much strength if he pull her up because she is really light, but her nails digging onto his arms. Jungkook looks at Van's direction and she is no longer screaming. Please pull me up. I think I'll make book, she said, feeling dizzy after shouting so much. Jungkook immediately pulled the girl up, seeing her pale face, and they both fell onto the cold floor of balcony. Van on the top of Jungkook, him wrapping his hands protectively around her waist. They both stared into each other's eyes quietly, and Jungkook felt that unfamiliar feeling again, as his stomach doing somersault, and his gaze shifted to her naturally plump pink lips. But before he able to do anything, Van broke the eye contact, pushing him away, running towards the living room. When he walks to living room, he heard the sound of someone cooking. Oh, it's that bad? He saw Vine breathing heavily at the giant bathroom in the hallway. She was basically trembling because whatever happened outside. Jungkook wanted to hold her in his arms, apologize maybe, or coax her. He doesn't know why he thinks like that whenever he is around her. It wasn't his fault. He had basically saved her life still. This girl messed his mind a lot, and he loves to stay in control of his emotions. But she trying to mess up his peace of mind, and he hates when his emotions betray him. Get ready in 15 minutes, we are going out. If you don't want to eat anything, that's fine as well, he said with his cold voice. The warmness from earlier disappeared. He walks to bedroom to change and Ryan cursed at him for being so insensitive. They arrived at Jungkook's office and everyone looked at their direction as seeing Ryan in oversized clothes of Jungkook. She didn't have anything to change into. She bumped to Jungkook's back as he stopped suddenly and she looks up to his face, her neck hurting again. Why this person is so tall? Boss, everyone is waiting for you in the meeting room, the man said, looking back and forth between Jungkook and Ryan. Jungkook looks back at Ryan, and she really looks like a lost kid in those clothes. He reminded himself to buy something for her after the meeting. Show her my office and bring back those important files. I left them on my desk. The man major nodded as he looks at Ryan's direction. Stay here until boss come. Don't roam outside in those clothes, he told her, seeing her appearance, but Ryan didn't heard him as he left after grabbing those files. Ryan noticed the office in awe as she looks around. The place is really magnificent, something like she only saw in dramas. Her curiosity let the best out of it when she saw the fish aquarium and ran towards their direction, eyeing them with twinkle in her eyes. She is always fond of the fishes since childhood. She tapped them from the glass and saw them swimming away to the other direction, making her giggle. As the curiosity leads her, she slowly moved around the office, checking everything. This man is Richie Rich. As she sat on his chair trying to impersonate Jungkook, how coldly he just talked with his secretary or how dominant he looked earlier. But stopped after she heard the footsteps approaching and stood up immediately from his seat. The door creaks open and a woman elegantly dressed entered in Jungkook's office. She looks beautiful and well dressed, her hair nicely done, and aura speaking wealth. Even from the distance, one can say that she really takes care of herself so much, compared to her shabby hair and messed up clothes like a homeless person. Which she actually is. Who are you and what are you doing here? Her eyebrows creased, demanded an answer as soon as her eyes landed on you. Are you one of Jungkook's another toy? She said when didn't got any reply. Well, that was rude. No, I'm not his toy. But who are you to even asking me that?